It's Friday, December 17th, 2021, an absolutely stunning late afternoon here in Palm Desert, California. A few things we should talk about on this late afternoon as we begin to head into evening. I jotted down some notes. I'm going to talk about these markets. But I want to start with this. I went to the bank, and I forgot to mention this the other day, but I went to my bank. It's a smaller bank in my area. And many of you continue to write me that you see an ATM out, your bank has closed temporarily. I went to my bank a couple days ago, and the doors were locked. Somebody came to the door and said, the bank is closed. You have to go to the drive-through. There's only one person working here today. And went to the drive-through, no problem. One person working in the entire bank. Doors locked. Again, when something like that happens, it just makes you think that if this economy really begins to collapse, if the banks run into trouble, which they will at some point. And right now, I can't even walk into my bank because there's only one person working in it. That doesn't make me feel too good. And this is why the system doesn't make me feel too good. This is why I'm as out of the system as I possibly can be. Look, I've got to have some money in the bank to pay bills, just like all of you. You do have to do some business with a bank. I get it. But it doesn't make me feel too comfortable going to my bank. And this isn't the first time I've been to the bank and pulled the doors and they were locked. At one point, the entire bank was closed down, probably about 6-7 months ago, and I had to go to a different bank. But that doesn't make me feel too comfortable. What do you think about that? Give me your thoughts. But we're still seeing ATMs shutting down, banks shutting down. Now my bank is back up and running, but there's never an explanation of why they shut down. Nobody seems to know. Let's get into what happened today. Dow Jones, markets across the board down. Dow Jones hammered. 532 points down. This was amazing. I woke up this morning, it was down 500 plus points. They tried to bring it back, then it went back down again, 400 or 500 points. They tried to bring it back again, and that last 15, 20 minutes, big sell-off, and it closes. Dow Jones closes down 532 points. So, Wednesday, after the Fed meeting, we saw the melt up. Thursday, markets came down a bit. Friday, absolutely hammered. So my question to you is, are these markets beginning to sense some sort of reality that there's going to be a taper, that there are going to be multiple rate hikes in 2022? Now, when I was watching the television a couple days ago, they were telling all of us that markets were just ignoring what the Fed had to say, didn't believe the Fed, ignored it, and so the melt up continues. But it seemed to cool down Thursday, and it really cooled down today. So what does this mean? Look, just like all of you thinking in the back of my head, just like you're thinking, Monday, this thing could be up 1,000 points, right? Who really knows? But I'm looking at cryptos as I make this video, and Bitcoin is down over $2,200 right now. It is back under $46,000. And look, I don't care who's buying cryptos, what you think of cryptos, but it seems to me now Bitcoin is trading more and more along with these markets. And my concern is that when these markets really begin to implode, what are these cryptos going to do? Are they really a safe haven asset? I mean, they're nearly down 25,000. Bitcoin is down nearly $25,000 from its high. And I know people write me and go, oh, JB, but I bought it at 3,000. I bought it at 5,000. I bought it at 10,000. But what about the people that bought it at 69,000? The people that bought it at 65,000? The people that bought it at 60,000? Is it really a safe haven asset? I don't know. I guess that's something that you'll have to decide. Gold stayed steady. I think it closed at about 1,700 or right now, currently it's around $1,799, close to 1,800. It's been steady, but it hasn't been nearly as volatile as many of these cryptos. And I think a lot of people are going to get more and more concerned, and they're going to be looking to safe haven assets. And a lot of people, I think, now are going to be exiting risk and gambling, and now putting money in safe or safer places like gold. Gold has no counterparty risk. It's never been worth zero. It's not volatile like these Ponzi schemes. So myself personally, I will be sticking with gold. But again, look, I'm not condemning anybody or judging anybody in cryptos. Be diversified. Put your money where you believe where it should be. But I think too many people are putting money in cryptos because they're just hoping it's going to go up thousands of dollars tomorrow or next week. I didn't buy gold personally to hold it for a short period of time. I bought gold to hold over a long period of time to ensure my wealth, to protect my wealth, because I know it's never been worth zero. It has history behind it. It's God's money. It's never going anywhere. And it has stood the test of time through economic collapses, fiat currency collapses, world wars, famines, you name it. It's been through everything. It's still here. It will be here long after we are gone. So that's my personal opinion on it. Let me know your thoughts. JP Morgan hit with $200 million in fines for letting employees use WhatsApp to evade regulators' reach. Also, people will say, well, why hasn't gold broke 2,000? Why hasn't silver broke 50? Ask JP Morgan, and we should go back to September 2020, somewhere around that period, when they paid $920 million for attempting to defraud precious metals and the U.S. Treasuries market. So there's so much manipulation taking place in these markets. See, gold and silver are so suppressed, and this is why I buy them, because they're on sale. I'm taking advantage of the suppression. I'm taking advantage of the sale. Me personally, I'm taking advantage of this rigged market that JP Morgan has been found guilty of doing, okay? Nearly $1 trillion fine that they admitted to and paid for defrauding the precious metals market, and they're still doing it, and they get a slap on the wrist. At some point, ladies and gentlemen, they're no longer going to be doing it. In fact, I think they're going to do the opposite. They will create a massive bubble in precious metals. My opinion, I don't give financial advice, but why does JP Morgan hold so much silver and so much gold in those vaults? They love smashing the prices. That's why I continue to back up the truck and buy this stuff. JP Morgan admitted to bookkeeping failures. Getting back to this article on CNBC, from January 2018 to November 2020, JP Morgan's personal employees used personal devices to send texts, WhatsApp messages, and emails about company business. Even the managers and senior personnel used personal devices to send sensitive business matters. Maybe it was some of your business matters. How do you feel about that? This is why I don't trust the banks. This is why I'm getting as far out of the system as possible. This is why I keep the least amount of money in the system. This is why you should be your own central bank. I mean, personal sensitive business matters going right over in personal text messages, right over WhatsApp, and on personal devices. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. And we all know, what was it, Wells Fargo and other banks, their employees getting paid to basically steal money out of your account to open up fraudulent accounts, found guilty. I mean, there is so much criminality taking place in the banking system, and they get all this free money, they get the bailouts, and people are so dependent and believe so much in the system when it is just really organized crime. Bitcoin may not last much longer, academic warns. Again, as I make this video, it's down almost 2,300. Eswar Prasad, professor of international trade policy at Cornell University, said on CNBC's Squawk Box Europe, Bitcoin itself might not last much longer. Look, it's 45,000 and change as I make this video from a high of 69,000. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, there are thousands of cryptos out there. Many of these things, most of them, if not all of them, are massive Ponzi schemes, massive pump and dumps. They've got these athletes, they got the celebrities. I've got friends calling me who are in this, every day, telling me to buy this stuff. Why? I mean, why do you need so many people buying this stuff? And if one big whale comes out and says that they're dumping, that crypto is done. It's done. Bitcoin seems to be trading, again, ladies and gentlemen, with these markets. And you have to ask yourself, is this going to protect you in 2022 as interest rates rise, as credit tightens up, as the economy continues to slow down, as inflation persists and heats up even more than it is now? Is this going to protect you? I don't have the answer. That's something you have to decide. NBC News, crypto exchanges keep getting robbed. Billions in the past year have been stolen. If you don't hold it, you do not own it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is another thing I don't like about it, how easily and how billions of dollars have been robbed from these exchanges just in the past year. Goldman says $100 oil possible at record demand as record demand outpaces supply. Right now, supply is much lower than demand, and that's probably going to continue. And I guess this is what you get when you're a country dependent on other countries for energy. When you're not independent, this is what happens when we do not make our own products here. This is what happens when we don't drill our own oil. We are reliant on other countries, and we're going to see triple-digit oil prices at some point. I would not be shocked that if we break $100 in 2022, would that shock anybody out there? It's not going to shock me. But this is what energy dependency means now. We're not energy independent, we're energy dependent, and we're going to pay an enormous price for that. So if you don't like the gas prices at the pump right now, get ready for 2022. The hedge today, Los Angeles import volume sinks as shipping traffic worsens. And what are they doing? They're pushing ships 40 miles offshore now, so people can't see all the ships out there. But more ships than ever are off the West Coast here. And we're handling less imports now than we were a couple months ago. Think about that. There's more product floating out on the West Coast here now in the water, and we are unloading these ships at a slower pace than we were just a couple months ago. Wednesday, there were 102 cargo ships right off Long Beach and Los Angeles. This really concerns me, because if we can't even unload ships, if we can't get these products on a truck or on a rail cart and ship somewhere, we're supposed to be the most advanced, wealthiest nation on planet Earth. And we can't even unload boats and get products on a ship or on a train or on a truck. It's absolutely unacceptable, in my opinion, and it's getting worse, ladies and gentlemen. And look, we are going to continue to see more shortages. That is going to have an effect on prices, but we all know, let's stop blaming this bottleneck. We know why the inflation will get worse, because they're going to print massive amounts of cash. They're going to continue printing cash. And until we stop all this quantitative easing, until we start raising rates, we're going to see massive inflation. And if we don't raise rates enough, we're just going to have low interest rates with more inflation, and it's not going to solve the problem. We must get aggressive. I don't know why they're waiting till 2022, why we're waiting till March or April or whatever it's going to be. Rates must go up now. They must go up aggressively, and I know that that is going to have a huge effect on the markets. But look, we are basically devaluing our current currency, our US dollar, by the second, the longer we allow this to go on. And we're going to see more severe ramifications of raising these rates, the longer we allow this to go on, not raising the rates. See, this wouldn't have been such a shock if we started doing this many years ago. But now it's going to be such a shock on the system because we waited so long. We kept rates too low for too long, and we printed just such an enormous amount of money. And the damage is done, ladies and gentlemen, and now people are going to feel the pain. The party is going to come to an end. And I know that a lot of people believe it's not going to happen, but it is going to happen. Now, I don't know how much they're going to raise rates. I don't know how many times they're going to raise rates, how long they're going to keep rates up before they get scared and back off because of the pressure on the markets. Or does Jerome Powell and the Fed get aggressive and do the right thing? This is going to have a huge effect, no doubt about it. And a lot of people don't like it, and they're going to keep telling me it's not going to happen because they don't want it to happen, but it must happen. Silver looks sexy. This on the hedge today. The silver to gold ratio is 80-1. And again, I don't give financial advice, but we haven't talked about silver in a while. I hold a decent amount of silver. I like gold the best, but with all the uncertainty, with the cheap price of silver right now, the ratio 80-1 takes 80 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. No counterparty risk. And we know at some point gold and silver have no choice but to soar. Look, this uncertainty, this economy, this inflation, the money printing, all of this is nothing but good for precious metals. And it's going to be good for silver. And so for these people, and if you're out there going, gold's too expensive, it's too expensive, silver is cheap. And there's no excuse why you can't go out and buy some silver at $22, $23 an ounce. No excuse whatsoever. Remember, you may have to cut out going out to dinner, going out to lunch, buying the $9 latte, going out and partying this weekend. Maybe it's better to cut some things out of your life and add some real tangible hard assets to your portfolio. You're going to sleep better at night. And I truly do believe, otherwise I would not do this myself. I truly do believe that gold and silver are the two most undervalued assets on planet Earth, and that they are going to shine in the darkest of times. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it there. I've got to go. I've got some business to attend to this evening, but I wanted to make this video, give you something to think about, but please comment down below. What do you think happened today? Dow Jones down 532 points. Is it this health crisis, which we've been dealing with for 2 years, which seems to have no effect on the stock market because we've had multiple all-time highs? Or is the market now beginning to realize that there is going to be some tapering taking place and is now reacting? So let me know your thoughts. Comment down below, share this video, give it a thumbs up. God bless you all. Have a phenomenal weekend. Take some time this weekend and add to your preparations. God bless. Talk to you soon.